First of all, don't be cracking me up off air. I saw that. I can see everything that you're doing. You might not see what I'm doing. Welcome to NasCanucks. I'm your host, Ben, with my co-host, Doug. We are the auto racing podcast right here on the YouTubes with a Canadian spin on it. Welcome one, welcome all. We have Daytona news, tons of Daytona news, lots of it. It's already in the silly season for 2022. Yeah, I said it. All kinds of news as well as Daytona previews. Yeah, we'll just go there and run full rundowns of the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, and my continued research into how many ARCA Menard Series are there going right now. 3, I think.
Yeah. East, West, and all.
Yeah. That's the confusing part. There's the ARCA Menard Series East, the ARCA Menard Series West, and the ARCA Menard Series, with no further description.
No, if you just have the ARCA Menard Series, do you need the West and the East?
Well, if you don't have the East and the West, that's the one we know, the actual National Touring Series. But I think it's the old K&N Series are now also known as the ARCA Menard Series for some reason.
Yeah, I kind of know that, so yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing. But enough about that. That's all of our ARCA coverage for this episode. Moving on to NASCAR Daytona. Coverage starts next week for Speed Week. So what are we looking at first? Should we talk about news headed in? Kyle Larson, 2 sponsors announced today.
Yep.
Freightliner and Cincinnati are both going to be those nice little associate sponsors on the car throughout the entire season. Plus, they're each stepping up for 2 races as primary sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
And hello, Terry.
Mr. Terry, yes. Yeah, so we'd already seen someone that said, oh, look, Freightliner is going to be the sponsor. Well, no, Freightliner's on every vehicle because that's the brand of the truck. Yeah. But, so he's going to have that there now. And then Cincinnati Tools, which maybe they're coming in because Cobalt is no longer with.
Not that kind of tools.
Was already out of tools. Was already
not that kind of tools.
Yeah, still.
No, they're more in line with like Haas CNC. They are more of a tool and die company. They make tools, but they make industrial tools for factories and machines, and apparently, which is interesting because that's more of like an IndyCar sponsorship. IndyCar, you see a lot of what they call business to business sponsors as opposed to business to consumer. Mm-hmm. Business to business would be like a Freightliner. Again, Freightliner isn't, they don't have regular dealerships like they do, but a lot of their business is just corporate contracts, right? Yeah. Like Freightliner supplying Penske Trucking with 10,000 trucks or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Interesting, though. Nice to see him get some sponsorship. Also, we have news or confirmation. It's been rumored for a while. An entrant into the Busch Clash, which is happening on Daytona Road Course.
Exactly. So
this will be your piece of trivia, folks.
Trivia question before it even happens. A trivia question before it even happens.
Yeah, who will be the first driver to ever drive for 2311 Motorsports or Racing something?
I know who it won't be.
Bubba Wallace?
It will not be Bubba Wallace.
That's right. Could it be the guy who signed my hat?
It could be the guy to drive the second car because we thought it was going to be another guy. But now this week we've now found out that it's not going to be that other guy. Right?
I thought it was going to be this guy the whole time.
Well, yeah. That's because we just didn't know where he was.
Well, should we mention the guy? Because he's Toyota's latest corporate driver, according to me, last week. He seems to be already Mr. Hot Shoes going from ride to ride to ride. This is his 3rd ride of the season confirmed thus far. And we haven't even turned a lap yet. Because
now we know where he's at. Because we didn't know where he was for the longest time.
Now he's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Ty Dillon, folks.
Ty Dillon will be the first driver of the 23XI Racing Toyota. He'll be driving the Busch Clash. Then Bubba will take the seat over in once the 500 starts. Yeah.
But then that leads into I shouldn't say few, but one of the races this year that actually has qualifying and practice It's already been announced. I'm just throwing it out there that a lot of races aren't having qualifying or practice, but NASCAR's like, so because we're doing that, we're going to expand the fields and the lower series up to 40 vehicles. Although hidden in that is the fact that Xfinity is going down to 36 cars race on qualifying weekends. Also, they said part of it, they got rid of, you're going to hear it's going to be blamed on the pandemic, but it's not. It's supposed to be for cost cutting, no practice, no qualifying. Also, purses have been slashed as well. They were slashed last year and continue to be slashed this year.
Well, because they're not sure whether fans are going to be allowed in or whatnot.
Doesn't matter.
But
that's making it look bush league.
Yeah. So the other news that came out of that Ty Dillon thing was that we thought that Denny may take over this car because his contract was up end of the year.
Right.
This year. But he has now signed a multi-year extension to drive the 11 car.
And FedEx.
Yes.
Which is that usual thing where we see a very tight relationship between both primary sponsor, because let's be honest, FedEx is on that car for pretty much the whole year.
Yes.
He doesn't switch around with sponsors a whole lot.
No, I miss the days where the different FedEx, you'd have the different color FedEx logo on there to show.
Yeah, we get that a bit, like FedEx, FedEx Ground, FedEx Air.
But they don't do as much anymore. It's now just a basic white car. They don't. There used to be the black background, and then you either have like orange, blue, or green.
With the amount of Domino's commercials I'm seeing with Denny, I assume there's going to be a Domino's car for at least one race this year.
And at least Domino's pajamas come out too.
Yeah, nice pajamas, Denny.
Yes, but so he will be, I guess, Dale Earnhardt Sr. driving for somebody else while his own vehicle is in a race.
That's what I said previous weeks. Yes, he's pulling in Earnhardt. Nothing wrong with that. Also, in sponsor news, kind of a new sponsor, but not. There will not be primary sponsorship, or the primary sponsor on the 2 car this year will not be Miller Lite.
I think they kind of backed out last year.
Keystone is going to be the primary sponsor.
Yeah.
Which is another brand within the Miller Brewing Company. They decided
Molson Coors Company.
Right. There you go. So, yeah. Interesting. So, that's gone through the lineage of the Miller High Life, through the Miller Genuine Draft, to Miller, to Wet Light.
I think what they're doing is they're just working down from an okay beer to a really shitty beer.
I think, personally, it's conspiracy to run a Wally Dallenbach throwback at Darlington this year.
Okay.
Because, remember, he used to run the Keystone beer car.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's got to be. Why else, right? Either that or it's just a completely failure of a brand and they're just trying to pick it up. Hey, if it means less people handing me a Miller Lite in an infield, I'm all for it. But Keystone,
maybe next year he'll be a Natty Light, a Natural Light sponsorship.
That'd be all right. I can handle that. Marshall will be happy.
Yeah. What?
Well, you can drink that stuff like it's water because
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other news: NASCAR has named that its charter teams for this year.
Right, which is basically renaming anybody that sold their charter last year.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's yeah. Like it's.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there before you hit that. Should they adopt? Because NASCAR loves adopting the stick and ball sport stuff. They should do like the English Premiership. Like if there's 40 charters, the 39th and 40th, they lose their charter at the end of the year. And then whoever the next 2 below are, they get the charter.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking here. It looks like the really only changed charters are going to be Hendrick Motorsports charter for the 48 will move to the 5.
Right. So
we knew that. And the 88 will go to the 48. I think the easier move there would have been 88 over the 5, but whatever. Go Fast is scaling back and to part-time. The charter they used in 2020 has been sold to the 78 Live Fast car. So the Go Fast car goes to Live Fast.
Right. It's still, and neither one of which are.
The Wood brothers have purchased a charter.
I thought they had a charter.
They purchased the remaining portion of the charter they were using in partnership with Archie St. Hilaire.
Oh, so they were leasing a charter.
Yes. Or sharing one.
Yeah, I guess because when the charter thing came out, they were still a part-time team, weren't they?
Yeah. Then Levine family's charter went to Spire Motorsports for the 77.
Right.
The charter that Spire Motorsports had for the 77 already has been leased to the 99 at Trackhouse Racing.
Have you seen those paint schemes?
I have, yes.
Oh, nice.
Well, now that you finally know who their owner is,
one of,
because yeah. And the 37 JTG Doherty, Jesus, change the name. Racing has obtained the Spire Motorsports from the 7 team.
Right.
And then Germain Racing sold their charter to the 23 XI Racing.
Right.
So
there we are. Excuse me. All right. So I guess that gets us into previewing what to expect next week, or are we going to leave that till the end, the preview at the end? Well, it's in the title. We should probably talk about it. Or we can wait for other people to show up. Or do we go down the other series right now?
We can go down the other series because we've also got there's some other little quick news. Love Travel Shops is back on the Michael McDowell car. MBM Motorsports will run the 13. Carl Long will be running that team. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was nice, quick, and easy. So you want to run down the Xfinity teams here first?
Sure. Yeah, you run down the list, and I'll give you my honest first reaction. Have not looked at the list, don't know who the hell is driving what, and it's either going to be a bunch of kids or a bunch of veterans or a combination, or some of them get to actually run the car all year.
Quite honestly, I don't know half the guys either. But anyway, so we got two guys going for Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Ryan Vargas in the 6.
Never
Jordan Anderson running his own team in the 31, moving up from the Truck Series.
Okay, well, I'm going to root for him because he's running his own gear.
Okay. So going down the expected full-time teams, This is one guy that you've had an experience running into. Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 0 for JD Motorsports.
See, I thought we were going with number 1 first. And I'm like, I don't recall running into the driver of the 1 car, but I'm like, the 0.
The 0. Yes.
Yes.
Both of you were looking the other way and kind of went head to head.
Yep. He's stocky, but I'm lanky. I won.
I think this next guy, it's his. He's got to do something this year. I really think he's got to do something. And that is
Jeffrey Earnhardt. I did comment on Jeffrey Earnhardt other than the fact we ran into each other. Jeffrey, he's a journeyman driver doing what he's doing, right?
Yep.
He can't really do any good or bad at this point.
Just keeping the name in the sport.
Yep.
Now the number 1 car for Junior Motorsports, like I said, this is the guy that's got to do something. He's been too close for too long. Michael Annett.
You know what? I'm kind of at the point where he's, again, journeyman, Xfinity. He's done the Cup thing. Didn't pan out. He's got a deal with Pilot. I don't know what the deal is. I think they probably own some locations, family. I think that's one of those deals, something. But he's tied in. He's got a great relationship with his sponsor. So he's got that sponsor he can brand. Sort of like Elliott Sadler with One Main Financial, how we literally ran for every big team with the same sponsor. Yeah, as long as he doesn't do anything stupid and gets himself fired, But he he should be in the title hunt and win 3 races. I guess that would be a decent year for him.
Yeah. Another guy moving up back into the Xfinity Series in the 02 for Our Motorsports would be Brett Moffitt, who was coming off. He almost got the Truck Series last year.
Yep.
But getting the full-time ride in the Xfinity Series.
Right. I think if he should just continue doing what he's doing, and I think he will. He's not one of those guys, hey, look at me, and all of a sudden just winning race, but he's that slow and steady, but it's not slow. But you know what I mean? It has that illusion. Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's just out there running laps. I don't recall him being overly aggressive or dirty unless somebody did to him first. And then it's like, all right, well, if that's the way you want to run, that's the way we're going to run.
Yep.
And he usually came out on top in that situation.
Yeah. So then the next 2 cars are Richard Childress cars in the 2 and the 3. The 2 is going to have Myatt Snyder back into it. He ran a few for them last year.
Right. Son of Marty. Right. Cool. Been around racing. From what I hear, a good kid, personality wise. And wish him luck. Yeah.
Well, he's still young. Like, he's still early 20s. If that.
Exactly. Yeah. Just continue what you're doing. Get laps. Look at Harrison Burton for guidance, in that respect. Keep doing keep that track down. Yep.
And then back in the 3 car will be Tyler Reddick for some, Blaine Parkins for some, and Andy Lally for one.
Let me guess, a road course?
I'm guessing, yeah. Yep. And the only one that has a sponsor of that is Andy Lally coming in with PCL Construction.
Of course. Right.
But,
yeah. There we are.
Then a couple other ones.
Childress, I swear he still runs the Xfinity program like guys did back in the day. Don't really worry about sponsorship too much or who's going to drive what. And it's just, whatever. He doesn't care. And that was he's not there to win a driver's title, put it that way.
No. And then next guy is a guy going back to the Xfinity Series that was in the Cup Series, Landon Castle in the 4.
I like that. The more I've been watching Landon Castle now, because he's one of those guys had a taste of some good equipment. Actually, his name came up because he was running for Morgan Shepherd in 2019.
Yes.
And a bit last year, too. Yeah. Basically, Morgan took a step back. And the whole team... I watched a documentary on Morgan Shepherd last week. So, and it was really well done. And, they were talking about... And he knows how to handle equipment. He's not going to break your gear. He's the type of guy that Morgan Shepherd, who only owns 1 car, has faith in putting into his car. Sure, Eddie.
The next guy here is BJ McLeod Motorsports. Matt Mills, I'm thinking he's going to be getting nothing. Ryan Vargas, who I've got no idea for, was driving the 6. He's going up for Rookie of the Year.
Who owns the 6?
I'm not even sure. That's a JD Motorsports as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think Roush even does Xfinity program anymore.
No. The next one we can't even talk about the 07 for the SS Greenlight Rick Ware Racing because they have no driver, no sponsor. They have a crew chief, but that's it.
Okay.
Next guy is going to be is another guy that I think needs to do something. Well, he's done something, but he needs to finish it in the 7. Mr. Allgaier.
You know what? Allgaier's at this year. He's got to decide. Am I going to be a late bloomer or am I going to be Michael Annett?
I'm leaning Michael Annett.
Yeah. So
he's had his time in Cup. He's got that sponsor in Brandt Agriculture.
Yep.
And he's set.
Yeah. And I think Junior's okay with that too, because really Junior, in essence, he's running a mini. It's not so much the Hendrick satellite team as much as the mini Cup program where I've got 2 drivers with sponsors. It's just a scaled down version of a 2-car Cup team. Now that I think about it, man, it'd be kind of cool if Junior did run the 2 of them in Cup.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They might actually do better. Like if they move those teams up to Cup.
Yeah. But you got the Hendrick ownership on them.
Yeah.
So that would have to change. I don't know.
Well, Junior goes rogue.
Yeah.
He can set up a GoFundMe and pay for it. If anyone could, it's Junior.
Speaking of Junior, in the number 8 All-Star car, Junior Motorsports, you got Sam Mayer in there. We've got Josh Berry to run. We've got Miguel Paludo to do the road courses. And for the one race that we're saying Martinsville will be Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Right.
So that's that car.
Not much to say on that car. Next.
The 9 Junior Motorsports will be Noah Gregson.
Sure.
Wreck less cars.
Yeah, he's got to clean up his act and improve as a driver. So next.
The one I'm really looking for, because he's finally getting a full-time ride on the go in the 10 Colleague car, Jeb Burton.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. I like that program, though, that in that program being that whole ownership, that team. I like that team. Jeb's floated around a bit. He's driven a variety of equipment. If he just, and he's like your Parker Kligerman. Like he seems to be able to step into a ride and be competitive. So he's not a bad driver.
And he's going to be in a competitive car now. So I want to see. Yeah. I think you're going to have the cousins battle it out.
Yeah, and like show that you earn that ride, and show that you belong there. Put it that way. Show that you belong there. So which means you need to make the playoffs, I guess. Yeah. Or be in contention. Actually, that's too much pressure. Yeah. He needs to be in the contention. That, what do we call that? That 20-car field down with the 3 races to go.
Yeah.
That's
then
fine.
you got another next couple cars are all Colleague as well. Being Justin Haley in the 11 and Allmendinger in the 16.
All right, so Haley keep progressing as usual, which I think he's going to do.
Yeah, he made the final 4.
Yeah, like keep progressing. So, be in the hunt, do what you're doing, and he's going to be running Cup sooner or later. That'll work itself out. Allmendinger, just continue to have fun. Because it seems like that now that the pressure's off, and he's having fun. And continue to call out the young drivers with the chips on their shoulders and admit when you're a screw up too, which he's started doing. So, both of them carry on and help out Jeb when you can.
Yep. Now flip a couple other cars. The 18, Daniel Hemrick new to Joe Gibbs Racing.
Right. Young, not quite as young, obviously, as all the
he's making the switch over from RCR. Remember, he was the RCR Cup driver.
Oh, I was thinking of the Gibbs Arca guy.
No.
Oh, well, that guy, okay, he needs to clean up his act, because that whole RCR program last year was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
They were a bunch of dirty old. They're all the Malachi brothers last year.
That's why Reddick's coming back to the 8.
Right.
And then Hemrick's going over. Hemrick went back to moving from the 8 to the.
Right. Who am I thinking? Who was the kid that shared the ride with Ty Gibbs last year in ARCA?
We're coming to him.
No.
Yeah, no. I think we are going to be coming to him.
Yeah, but because he's another one in that Toyota development program.
Yeah, he's now out of Toyota, but yeah. Brandon Jones in the 19 for Joe Gibbs. I would say just keep doing what he's doing, except for don't do what you did last year at Pocono, where you won the truck race and then
destroyed on the first lap.
First lap of the Xfinity race, like half an hour later, just mail it in and just don't make it through turn 1.
Yeah.
20 is I'm really looking forward to Harrison Burton this year.
Yep. Again, just keep on improving, and he's doing a great job.
New crew chief. He's got Jason Ratcliffe with him this year.
Which that's a push. Like they're really grooming, which gets us to the silly season stuff of. I think Harrison Burton will be driving the 19 in 3 years. I 3 to 4 years, because I think
would not disagree with that. I think
Truex. Yeah, I think because we know Truex is in a contract year. He's probably going to sign another 2 to 3 year deal, and then that'll be it. He'll be showing the door, which is fine. And then you can go run as a veteran at another team, or he can do his own thing. Who knows? But I think just keep doing what you're doing, kid.
Yep.
Still great stuff.
Leads us to I'll flip them a couple cars here, and leads us to the 26.
All right. Who's driving the 26?
Santino Ferrucci in the 26. How many cars does he wreck this year?
Never heard of him.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
For all the stuff that he's done wrong in F1 and IndyCar.
Oh, he's that guy.
That guy.
Just don't be a fucking pile-on or a dart without feathers. That's my two things.
I really...
Follow the veterans. Learn the lines. Follow the veterans. Know your role and shut your mouth and just follow the veterans.
Yeah, but that in F1 and in IndyCar, that didn't happen. He took out his teammate on a cool-down lap in IndyCar.
Right. I'm giving him advice, whether he chooses to accept it or not.
Who is his first run-in with?
God, I hope it's Austin Cindric.
I'm saying Noah Gragson.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Next one up is the 31 of Jordan Anderson, who is...
Allmendinger, and Allmendinger thumps him afterwards.
Possibly. Jordan Anderson of 31, going for Rookie of the Year. He's had his own...
I'm rooting for him. He's got his own gear. Yep.
He's had his own truck team for a long time.
Yep. We wish him well.
DGM Racing with Canadian Alex Labay in the car.
Yep. Wish him well. Continue developing.
Yeah, we got Ryan Sieg is back in the 39. Tommy Joe Martins will be driving his own car again. He's back as his own driver.
Sure.
Yeah, Big Machine Records has their own team now. Sure. They got nobody drivers. I'm looking at the 51. I think he's going to step up this year. He's already won a couple races. Jeremy Clements.
Okay. Nah.
Well, it's his own. It's another. There's a ton of drivers.
I watched him turn laps 10 years ago, and I really haven't seen him progress.
Oh, I know, but still.
No. Moving on.
We're going to move on. We're even going to move over to Jimmy Means 52 because Greg Galding is dropping from the Cup Series down to the Xfinity.
I would really like to see that team do well. It's Jimmy Means.
Even with that driver?
It's Jimmy Means, though. I just want him to do well. So, Gray, do your job and smarten up and listen to Jimmy. And don't abuse the equipment. He doesn't have a budget.
And stay away from the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yes.
Anyway. A couple other... Timmy Hill is back in that series.
Sure.
It's... From then on, it kind of becomes like the who are you?
Yeah, we discussed the 54 last week.
Riley Herbst in the 98 Stuart Haas Racing. So that's where he went from.
Riley Herbst. That's
over to he took over the Chase Briscoe spot.
All right. You know what? If he does what we know that car can win a lot of races. So he needs to win this year. 2, 3 races. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Then Penske will be running a part-time team. Their drivers will be Keselowski.
We skipped right over the whole Penske organization earlier. There is that Cindric guy defending series champ. We didn't mention him. I hope he crashes every race.
He was not. I did not see him in the list here.
There's no number 22?
I did not see it. Let me finish these ones here up. So yeah, so there's the 12. The 12 team was either Keselowski, Logano, or Blaney driving.
Sure.
Childress is going to have Kaz Grala in the 21 at some point.
I heard about that. Yeah, that's good. That's
depending
good.
on sponsorships.
Yep.
And then JGR will be running the 54.
We talked about that last week with an all-star.
With an all-star of Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Martin Truex Jr., and Ty Dillon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
moving on to trucks.
Okay, yes, there is. The number 22 car is Austin Cindric.
Yep. He's probably going to repeat what he did last year because I don't see anybody that's going to just raise their game that much more, right? Because I'm going to assume Cindric's going to have a better season than last as far as overall ability. He may not win more races, but you know what I mean? Like, he's going to continue developing.
Yep.
Unfortunately. I'd rather he not. I'd rather him just freaking lose it and retire, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So that puts us to the Camping World Truck Series. We're back to the Camping World Truck Series.
Gone is Gander.
Yep.
Yep.
So, 2 Rookie of the Year candidates.
Yep.
We've got Haley Deegan in the 1.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 02, we have Chris Wright.
I'm cheering for Chris. That's not to be misogynistic or anything, but I think Haley Deegan's awfully overrated.
I'm not even sure who Chris Wright is.
Doesn't matter. Still pulling for him.
So, that being said, Haley will be driving for David Gillen Racing this year.
Sure. I don't care for the Gillens either. It's a great fit.
Yes. So
I'm just glad she's not running for KBM.
Chris Wright in the 02 will be for Young's Motorsports. They do not have a driver, they don't have a crew chief, and they don't have an engine supplier.
Yeah, they'll get her done. Don't worry about it. They got a week.
Sheldon Creed returning to the 2.
Okay.
Camp.
Yep. Keep doing what he's doing. I remember him from Ozarka days and stuff. I don't think he's ever going to make it into Cup necessarily because, like I say, I've known him for a number of years and he's only in trucks.
But will he keep the mullet?
One can hope.
Yeah.
One can hope.
So then the 3 truck will be Jordan Anderson returning to that.
Sure.
KBM. The one guy, here's the other guy coming back to the Truck Series.
Yes.
Is
now part of the Toyota Development Driver Program.
Yeah. John Hunter Nemechek.
I like it. I'm not saying he wasn't rushed, up into Cup or anything like that. He saw opportunities and took them the same way his dad did, very traditional route. But he's going to be driving good equipment. Go out there, win some races, John Hunter, and bring back why don't you can be front row John Hunter.
Yeah.
Go out there and, be like your old man.
Next 3 trucks are the 6 of Norm Benning, who hopes to run a full season. Doesn't have anything decided yet, but he just hopes to run a full season.
We pull for good old Norm. Norm hasn't had a competitive ride in I've been watching Norm run for 20 years.
Well,
I don't think he's ever had a competitive ride
for himself. Right?
Yeah, and I think he has his entire career for the most part.
And we have Jennifer Jo Cobb in the 10, who has no plans announced.
Again, she's got her own gear, and she'll run. She's like Morgan Shepherd, right? You run it as needed where you want, and same as Norm Bowden. You're what we would call an independent,
which is a lot of the Truck Series. Because I'm looking here, the number 11 is Spencer Davis Motorsports.
Driven by Spencer Davis.
His driver is Spencer Davis, and he says he will run, but he doesn't have a schedule out.
Sure.
Going from there, Johnny Sauter back in the 13.
Yeah.
How many times will he get pissed off at someone else for thinking it's someone else's fault?
Johnny, he found his spot. It's like we're talking with the junior motorsports guys. He's got a spot. He fits at ThorSport. He's running that 13 forever and a day. he's got his teammates, was it Crafton part of that organization in the 98, I think?
I believe so, yes.
Or the 88.
But
anyways. Yeah,
so,
Johnny's Johnny. Yeah, he'll be there till he retires.
So Chandler Smith in the 18 for Kyle Busch. So Chandler Smith, he ran last year for a bit, a couple races in Kyle's stuff. Didn't do too bad. So I'm kind of...
There's no pressure on any kid that runs for Kyle Busch as far as I'm concerned. Just go out there, be competitive, and learn, right?
Another guy that I'm thinking is going to have a big year after a successful rookie season will be in the 21 truck, Zane Smith.
We have a question. Do we ever talk about tractor pulls? No, but we have talked about lawnmower racing.
Yes, but we can talk about tractor pulls when we talk about like McDowell and the rest of the guys who are just pulling weights on the back of the field.
That's true.
But Zane Smith is going to have Bono Mannion back in the pit box.
Right.
I think that's good for him.
Yep. Again, just keep doing what you're doing, and you will move up, right?
Rafael Assard does pick up a ride.
Yes, he does.
He is going to be with GMS Racing in the 24.
Prove yourself, kid.
For 12, he's going to be there for 12 races.
Prove yourself, kid.
I'm looking for more sponsorship.
Use those races where you can. Take a 20th place truck and finish 16th with it, and people will notice that.
Yep. Timothy Peters back with Rackley Racing.
Sure. It's a name. They're hoping to pull in some kind of regional sponsor based off the fame of Timothy Peters.
Yeah.
Never cared for the guy.
Tyler Ankrum, I was kind of hit and miss with him last year.
You know what? Just keep progressing. Keep on. He's another Sheldon Creed.
Yes.
He kind of got passed over for that initial, he's your second round draft pick, not your top prospect, right? Just keep doing what you're doing, keep learning, keep the equipment in one piece, and you'll end up in the Xfinity Series in a year or two.
Next one is a 33. As long as this guy keeps his toaster strudel off of social media, he might be okay. Canadian Josh Rayom.
Oh, do we have to admit he's Canadian?
He's from Vancouver.
Yeah, but I got friends out there, and he's not representative of Vancouver at all. Calgary, maybe. Edmonton, sure, but not Vancouver. Yeah, stay off social media and just run. Keep your nose down for a year.
Yep. The 38, not driving for his father, driving his father's old number, Todd Gilliland.
Todd, I wish you well, and continue to step away from your father's shadow. Step away from the shadow. Distance.
He did before. He was, he had that shot driving KBM stuff. And I think he did shoot himself in the foot when you're telling Kyle Busch, stay away from Victory Lane when I won because I don't want you there.
Not the smartest move, Bubbaloo.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just whack.
Leads to my pick for the truck series. He's not even running part-time though. He ran part-time last year, running full-time this year.
Okay.
40, Ryan Truex.
Okay.
He's just out there kind of just running for just...
Again, he's another Sheldon Creed. He had his... Well, not even Sheldon Creed. He
had his time in Cup. He had a shitty owner in Cup.
Ryan, at this point, he's Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Yep.
Honestly, he's Jeffrey Earnhardt. He's not a kid, but he's not a veteran. He's that in between. Just go out there, don't tear up the equipment, and you never know what kind of ride you'll end up with in life. So, I wish him well.
Natalie Decker in the 44.
Keep it in one piece. Good luck.
Yeah. Brett Moffitt will run full-time for Mr. Gary Thorland.
I didn't know he was entering a truck this year.
Yeah. Brett
Hey,
Mock
Gary.
back in the 45 for Nice Motorsports.
Yep.
Running full time.
Give her.
And will he not be running the flag? Actually, no, looking here now, he won't, because he's got no plans announced, Mr. Ray Cicerelli in the 49.
I thought he retired.
Apparently he did, because he's got no plans announced.
Well, that's it. No, his plans were announced for him. You have no plans, Rick.
In the 51 truck, Kyle Busch will be running 5 races in that truck. And then Drew Dollar will take over, which is a new name for KBM.
Yep. Dig it. No pressure.
52. I'm really liking this. I think he's got a good shot this year. Stuart Friesen.
My pick for the title.
Especially with 2 dirt races.
If that team continues like they did the second half of last year, well, actually, if they got rid of the goddamn playoffs, then they'd be the title winners. But it's so hard to predict a title winner when it's always a crapshoot for the last race of the year. But he's obviously who I'm pulling for, Stuart Friesen.
And then you got
his for a long time.
Yeah. Then you got the ThorSport trucks, the 88 with Matt Crafton, and the 99 with Ben Rhodes.
Okay, so Crafton, same deal. Sauter, veteran, got a spot, got it. Christ, he's had this, sponsorship. He's always had good sponsorship, like is it Menards or whatever?
Yeah, Menards. He's got Menards. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought he's been with them forever. Like literally, I think Menards sponsored Matt Crafton when he used to get razzed for having 300 starts in the series without ever having a career win. Paul Menard hadn't entered into NASCAR yet. Paul Menard has an entire NASCAR career, and yet Matt Crafton still is running a truck with that sponsorship. Ben Rhodes needs to clean up his fucking act. He needs to start watching Matt Crafton more and stop listening to Johnny Sauter. Yes. I think he's a bit of a douchebag. I was a fan last year, not a fan by the end of the year.
Yeah. And then the other ThorSport truck is the 98 of Grant Enfinger.
I like Grant.
Yeah.
Grant, you know what? If Grant plays his cards right, he could be a title contender this year.
Oh, for sure.
ThorSport's back is a good team.
Yeah, he was last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, the part-time teams are all nobodies.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's trucks.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to Daytona previews. Who is your pick to win the Busch Clash?
I'm going to say, even though you're going to say it's not with the head pick, I'm going to say, because the 48 is not in the field to block him like he did last year, like a total ass, I'm going with the 19.
The 19, okay.
Because he had the shot to pass Little Chase, but the Jimmy Johnson of 48 just threw the brakes on right in front of him. And it was like, give me a break.
I want to say Ty Dillon, but it's not.
No. But in true NASCAR fashion, don't discount that happening.
Right. Well, especially nothing to lose. I'm going to be the first guy to win for the team. You never know. Yep. I think, unfortunately, it's going to be Chase Elliott. Unfortunately, I think, and it's not just because he's a great road course racer and blah, blah, blah. I just think with my goddamn luck, he's going to win. So, unfortunately, who's going to sit on the pole for the Daytona 500? Considering we have no winter testing to know who has a good ride and who has an okay ride. Alex Bowman.
Kyle Larson on the pole.
Yep. See, we both Hendrick's always strong for the pole at Daytona. So, and I'm thinking Alex Bowman though, because he's great by himself. But yeah, could be Kyle. That'd be interesting. All right. Who wins the truck race at Daytona? Yeah, we're gonna skip the duels because we don't know who's running in the duels. So that's
duels. Yeah.
I'm gonna look who's running the other race.
I'm gonna look at series champion Sheldon Creed's gonna win that first race at Daytona.
Sheldon Creed's gonna win the first stage. I think he might even win the first two. But that's my pick, Stuart Friesen, to win the truck race too.
I was thinking him, but I knew you were going to go with him, so I was like, I'm going to go with somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to see the 3 Canadians get in tandem, 3-truck tandem. Screw manufacturers, screw team orders. Canadians need to hook up.
You don't want the 4th one in there?
Oh, no, I don't. Wait. Oh. Nope. Fuck him. He can blow up coming around on the parade lap. He doesn't even take the green.
One hand on the wheel, the other hand in his toaster strudel.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So Xfinity. Who's going to win the Xfinity race? Years past, I would have predicted Dale Jr. or Tony Stewart or Kevin Harvick because they were always 3 ringers that usually won the damn race. And it's usually a ringer that wins it, but we don't know who's in it.
I'm going with Harrison Burton.
Wow. I'm going to go with AJ Allmendinger.
He did get his first oval. Yeah, yep.
And those guys, remember last year, that whole team was very competitive.
Did they not finish 1, 2, 3 at the Daytona summer race?
Daytona or Talladega?
One of them, but then one of them got disqualified.
Yeah.
But
that doesn't matter. Yeah. They did finish in the top 3.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So that brings us to the Daytona 500.
I say we hold off because we haven't talked about our show next week. Right? We'll know more. We'll know more after the show. So next week we're going to be
qualifying because we're doing it at a special time.
Special time next week.
Qualifying ends at approximately 9. I say we do we'll do a half hour, 9:30 to 10. That gives us a little extra to set up and anyone but Gregson for the Xfinity race. That's fine.
That's fine with us, yep.
Yep.
I liked Noah when he was with KBM. But then as soon as he left KBM, he got all that stupid attitude and yeah.
All right, you want to leave Daytona prediction for next year or next week? That's fine. That's fine.
Because we will be talking Busch Clash because that is running on Tuesday.
Yep. And then we have qualifying Wednesday. We'll talk about that. We have some practice sessions, I believe, for all 3 series by that time.
Yes.
So we can have an idea of who's fast, who isn't, any new news, who's picked up sponsors. We'll have a better idea of the what do they call it? The cup dipper people like coming in to run because it is Daytona. You could have some special names in both trucks and Xfinity.
Yep. Oh, I think he's even a higher level of arrogance.
Yeah.
Hank.
He's up there with Austin Cindric.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, Noah Gragson would be running a Penske car if he had talent because he's got the attitude. He just doesn't have the talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that is one thing. You know, when was the last time Roger Penske had a dog for a driver? Like because even when he did a development thing, it was like they had a driver and they brought that driver right up through. Like, it's not like Gibbs, who's always got some kind of development program, or Junior or Childress.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just thinking to myself because it's always been kind of a one steady car. Or if they did the 2, it was still like 2 cars split between the 3 cup drivers week to week. Yes, same here, Jeremy. I'm pulling for Chase this year because he's taken over the 14 car.
And Ben is just cheap and doesn't want to buy new gear.
I was like, did I even end up buying a 14 shirt? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you got a couple of them, don't you?
No, I got one of Clint from the 14 car that I bought at Walmart, and it was the previous year's car.
Yeah.
No, the current one was the Walmart one, and then what was it? The 15 car.
Yeah.
That was I bought it over at the Gypsies because it's an MWR car, but he had already left MWR by that time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Now Jeremy brought something up that you and I had talked about. We messaged back and forth. There's a shift in the booth.
There is.
That we are really liking.
Yes. A shift away from Hendrick Motorsports in the booth, and that shift is to Stewart-Haas Racing in the booth. Because we've got Clint Boyer joining the Fox broadcast every week, and Tony Stewart will be in the booth for the Xfinity race.
Yes. And
we can kind of tie that in because Kurt Busch ran for Stewart-Haas Racing for a number of years, and he's been calling truck races.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I believe Adam Alexander is going to be calling Xfinity races this year.
Oh, is he?
I do believe.
Okay.
I think I heard that. And we have our first female play-by-play for, is that ARCA?
For the ARCA series, yes. I think we mentioned that a couple weeks ago on here when it first was announced. Jamie Little.
Yes.
Calling that race. Or those races. Which we only get to see about like 4 up here a year anyway. But
yeah.
Trying to
think. I don't even actually, and that's something we'll check out. We need to do some research on the ARCA entry list. So we'll do a little touch on that for Daytona.
I guess.
Probably. Venturini Motorsports will enter 6 cars in the race, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll all be white, unspotted, numbered like 22 through 27.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Oh, and we did already have a race kickoff this year, among other things. Number of quick news items. Oh, yeah. Forgot. Bobby Labonte.
Yes.
He's running the full SST series. What's that called? SRX? XXR? I don't know.
The Tony Stewart, Ray Evernham series?
Yes. But he's also going to be running a full schedule in the Southeast Modified Series.
Nice.
Which is all obviously short track based. And that, and one of the associate sponsors is Labonte Chevrolet. Yes, they are. They're making a big change in the fact that NBCSN won't be showing races. Necessarily.
Well, no.
They might be showing some. But
I think Jeremy is probably the same with us, is that it's too Hendrick swayed in the booth.
Yes.
Which that's how we get so much talk of Chase and all the other guys. That's just become sickening at times.
All right. So we did have a race this last weekend. The 24 Hours of Daytona race happened with multiple classes going through the Daytona Road Course for, go figure, 24 hours. Driver of note in the overall winner was Helio Castroneves, driving part of the Taylor Racing Cadillac. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But with the Cup ties or NASCAR ties, cars with some NASCAR ties. Haha. I just did a screenshot of the tweet. Jimmy Johnson in the Action Express 48 finished second overall. AJ Allmendinger, driving part of the Meyer Shank 60, was fourth overall. Chase Elliott in the other Action Express car, number 31, was eighth overall, sixth in class. And Austin Dillon, driving in the Rick Ware Racing. Yes, he fielded a car in that series too, Doug. He's everywhere. In the number 51 was 10th / fourth in the LMP2 class. Austin Dillon in the Rick Ware car, which is probably 10th overall, fourth in class.
And going on as we speak right now, they're starting off the Speed Week at the Volusia County Speedway with the All-Star Circuit cars, I believe, in there for 3 nights, and then the NOS Energy sprint cars jump into that track on Saturday night. So
awesome. Dang it. Just doing some R&D stuff. I wish it was on a car, but it was a designer. We can talk off. Anyways, yes. Somebody needed input, apparently.
Yeah.
Soldering iron in hand. Should I do this? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's about it that we have.
Did I show you the photo last week of the car from the Stewart Evernham series?
No.
I didn't think so. No, this is a shot without the SRX, because there's a sign in the background in the shop. You know, guys always put the random sign on that ledge 8 feet up.
Yep.
They did. So this is a shot without the body of the front end of one of the new SRX cars.
Okay.
So full tube chassis. Will it focus? There we are. Notice the coil sitting right. Those are the yellow things, Doug. The ignition coil sitting on the red cylinder head.
Yep.
So it's got individual coils per head, and so you can't tell. Those are big block heads, by the way. So we're running some serious cubic inch. Rumors have it at approximately 900 horsepower. That's right, 900 horsepower for the 6-race series. I'm looking forward to it. The races are going to be on CBS.
Looking at Jeremy Smith, I don't think TSN showed it. I remember Fox Sports Racing showed it. The old speed team.
Yeah, I remember there was an American carrier carried part of it, but it was like NBCSN, and then they went to Peacock for most of it, or which is basically their streaming service. And yeah, that's why I didn't try covering it more in depth. Just wanted to throw the little tidbits out there.
Yep. And I think the only other news is I think you're putting it down below in the.
Oh, I forgot to put it in there.
Okay. He will be at some point down below a link. My other channel, my cornhole channel, we are doing a NASCAR pool. So if you want to join into that, have some fun, free to enter. Each week you are picking the finish order, the top 10 each week. And for each correct answer, you get 10 points. For each answer where your guy that you picked to finish in the top 10, if they don't finish in the place you say, you get 3 points for that.
What?
And then
you mean it's just not pick drivers at the beginning of the year and that's it?
No.
Oh, because those are the pools I enjoy, Doug.
Yeah, well, you know what? Hey, fill your boots. There's the pool ID is Corn Dog, which is not here. Just add CORN to the front of the name. You can pick them right now if you want. You can do a full season. I know there's one guy in the pool has already picked his top 10 for the Daytona 500.
Hey, look at that. There, it's in the chat now.
Right there on the top. Yeah, there we go. So so just follow that link.
Yeah, that means I don't have to put it in the description now.
No, whatever.
You got it in the chat.
Got in the chat. But yeah, it's it's a fun thing to do. It's free. You get to win. If you win the pool, all right, you get a set of cornhole bags. But yeah.
So I can have 2 sets of cornhole bags if I win.
Yeah.
Because you still owe me a set.
I do.
Right.
And so
there we are. All right. Anything to add? We've got 40 seconds.
there is, by this countdown, there is 5 days, 22 hours, and 20 seconds until the Busch Clash.
Woo! Awesome.
I have a countdown right there.
Great to hear. So, yes, we will be back later, special time later next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. I wish we could say live from Daytona, but we won't be.
No.
Live from right where we're live from.
Now 5 days and exactly 22 hours.
Perfect. There we go. So he's Doug. I'm Ben. And as always, Doug.
See you, Marcus.